Good morning, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of the Pertic Challenge 2022. It's April, it is autumn time, it's a little crisp outside. We've got a dropping tide today, and we're out on the Hawkesbury River today. Yesterday, we were out on the Sydney Harbour, tried real hard and fished all day. Basically, didn't get the fish we wanted. Now, it's a big fish tournament, so big fish count, and you're going to have to get some really good sizes in order to be able to compete. Anything over 45 centimeters in the brim category, anything over a meter in the flathead category. Those are the two fish I'm going to be primarily working on today. We're going to be going up into the clearer water, hopefully in pit water. We have had a lot of rain, so I don't know how much of this water is fishable, but there's one or two spots I'm going to go to see if I can get a big brim and then focus on getting some nice big flathead. There may be a chance later on where we'll go back into some other species, but at the minute, if we can get those two on the board, that would be fantastic. Weather's quite nice. It's crisp at the minute. Hopefully, there are some showers today, but hopefully it's going to be really nice. So looking forward to a good day out in the water, and we'll see you out there. So on the job right now, I'm going to be cranking a crankbait. It's sort of a mid-running crankbait through some slightly dirty water. And up to the marker there is a shelf that comes off and drops straight off. And, you know, it's lower tide, so, you know, upper is a little bit shallow. And as it drops off, there may be some fish sitting on that area there. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to see how it runs. And let's hope it gets us that fish. So this is where you're going to need your sounders. I'm staying in about 2.9 meters of water, and we've got some really good drops coming off over here, and that's the back of the boat. You can see them both there, bottom, live picture of the bottom, and then on the sides we've just got flat sand, but there is a shelf right here in front of us, and you can actually see the current coming around, and it just sort of becomes a little bit turbulent, and there's some nice little eddies and that are formed as the current comes down into this area here. Just using a crankbait, nice and slow over this little shelf here. Just see if we can get those bites. Definitely what I would call the butter zone right here. Just hoping you can see that as that current comes around. Just there, see it as it comes around that point there. And that's where you're going to find good fish sitting. So the idea is to pull the bait over the shallow water, which goes right up to 0.5 of a meter, and then just pull it over the edge, and they usually stack up on the edges here. Fire it right up there, hold on the ledge, just about 5 meters or so off the ledge now. It's over this side of me here, and yeah, let's see if I can get a bite. I've had a few hit it, but they haven't committed, so there we go, here's a fish, there we go. So there is the theory, and now we've got our first good bite. Not a massive one, but there you go, just shows you, see, there's your flathead, and took that lure nicely off that ledge as it came over the top. So obviously that's a little bit small, but it's a start. As they say, you know, the fish are either here or they're not, you know, and at the minute no bites here. I've come up to the point and still struggling to find those bites, so I'm going to move over to a shallow hump in the middle of the water, see if there's anyone home that side there, and we're going to try and get the lure down just above the bottom there, just drag it along and see if we can find a bite. It's about a stretch of about 30-40 meters. And this hump comes up under the water about 1.4 meters below, so who knows, let's try it out. So on my Garmin sounder here, you can see there's a shallow water warning over here, and I don't know if you can see these are difficult to see with the light at the minute, but this area over here, shallow water, you can see there's an area there. If you can see it, it's all shallow here. So caution, shallow water. There's a hump here, and you can see it on my other sounder as well. I'm using navionics here, which is very, very handy to have, and I've decided to use tablets because they're way more versatile and very accurate too. Just Lenovo tablets, and I've got one zoomed up so I can see, and I've got one further back, as you can see over there, and then I'm just sort of moving around, seeing the bottom, scanning. There's a bit of a bank there, you can see it on the side, and yeah, let's give it a go. On the sounders right now, you can see very flat bottom. That's back of the boat. There's a couple of little marks down here, bait fish wise. There's the ridge there, you can just see it on the side. I don't know if you can see that. That's on the side, and obviously I have it up front here as well. Mapping over here, as I said, I use navionics to try and get a little bit of a better picture of what's going on the bottom, but this is good enough, and I can see a ridge right there on the side, so I'm going to fish that. Nothing on that spot. Let's ride, peeps, let's ride. We've got a long ride. We've got to cross the main channel now over to the Pittwater side. I wouldn't suggest to anybody, if they're not experienced, to do this. Make sure you know what you're doing, because it's can be quite rough out there, and it can be windy, lots of swell. Take your time, get across, make sure you got your life jacket on, make sure you're safe. But that's where we're going right now. Let's ride. Right, just making sure that I'm clicked into my boat, so that if anything does happen and I get thrown out the boat, obviously the boat cuts off and doesn't come and chop me up with the propeller. Make sure the jacket is on, good, strapped on properly. Very important, especially when you're making crossings like this. So we're going out that way, we're going up to Pittwater, and we're going to try our luck over there. Let's go, man, let's ride. Woo! Let's go, man! no game that is a crossing you got to respect, especially in a competition bass boat like this. You just got to be very careful, take it easy. But we're here at the next spot. Let's see how it goes. So when you get a chance, get to your re-rigging, just make sure that everything is solid. Yeah, I'm using fluorocarbon to all of these, and you got to make sure there's no nicks in the line and so on, because you don't want to get that good fish and then lose it. So always check your hooks are good and strong. It felt pretty good. This is one I pre-rigged before, and just making sure up the line is good as well, making sure that there's no nicks in this line at all, and that your knots are all good and strong. So I'm pretty happy with that. That'll hold the fish. The rod itself is a 7-foot medium light, and it's, you can see that as you can see the bow and the end, and it's made for little twitch baits and so on. It can be relatively difficult once you've actually hooked a fish, because there's a lot of give in that line, that rod. You see there's a lot of give in that end, but I mean that's what gives the action to the lure. And get the fish on first and then worry about how you're going to get it in. It is tricky, and so that's the one rig we're going to use, and the other rig is a soft plastic, which we're going to rig up now. Let's go. So I'm going to try and be cheeky, sneaky, and I'm going to be using a bait that is a pencil plastic, but it's a little bit long for what we need it for, because I want to have the option of getting some brim maybe and some luderick as well as a flathead. So I'm going to cut it down, and I'm going to weld the front nicely to make it plausible, because I want that bait to jump on the bottom and sort of look like it could be a shrimp or it could be a bait fish, or and hopefully get that stripe, because I've been using paddle tails, and I've been using some slower baits. I want something that's a little bit quicker across the grass. Let's see if it goes. So let's rig that up now. So here's the trick over here. I'm going to cut it down to the length I want, not too short, not too long, and obviously that gives us a rounded edge, or a flat edge on top. I want to make it rounded edge actually, so you can't go wrong with your little flame welder. In the wind it works, and then all you do is you just heat the top so it starts to light, and bring it down like that, just slowly, and it rounds it off beautifully for you. The tricks of the trade. So there it is. See, it's nicely rounded off the top. I could probably do a little bit more, which I'm going to. Really make it nice at the end. It starts dripping, and then you just want to let it slowly cool down. There you go. So now what we have is a shortened version of that, something that's going to bounce around, look like a little prawn or shrimp or a little bait fish, and see if we can get some bites on that. So here we go. So this is the old bait I had on, and I've got a nail weighted jig which I like, which sits inside the bait, and especially when they're tough. Check my knots. I've got a fluorocarbon leader. It looks like it's got a nick in it right there. Now look at that. See, there's a nick there? Look at that. It just breaks on that nick. So you've got to be very careful and make sure. So we're going to get some more fluorocarbon out. Make sure this. So I'll take 2 meters off the main reel, and we'll put the fluorocarbon on that. So just Hercules fluorocarbon, which is locally available in most stores, and you get fluorocarbon is a great way for you to hide your line in the water so the fish can't see it, but also it's pretty durable, and if you get into some structures in that, it seems to hold up pretty well. And so yeah, we're going to put a leader on, make sure it's nice and clean. Right, how do you join 2 lines together with fluorocarbon? There's your 2 lines, fluorocarbon, main line. Main line goes on, pull them across each other. Main line goes under the first one, it loops, under again, and it loops into 2 loops. Alright, and then take your extra line and put it through both. Right, then open it up so it forms an 8. It'll only do it one way. There we go. See the 8, and I pull that. There's the 8. See it? And I pull it relatively tight, not too tight. Then on the other side, just your normal twist. So you've got to some extra line here. So hold a piece so that you've got something to put the loop through. It twists around and it's got 6 loops or so through the main little piece that you've kept open like that, and you can just pull that tight. Wet it, pull it tight. There's your knot. Just clean it up for you and you pull it tight. There it is. Look at that. And that holds. When it comes to clipping it, you can clip it quite close. I like to always leave a minuscule little piece just in case there's some tightening, but some people think that the fish can see that. I'm not that convinced they can see that much. But there you go, there's the knot there. You can actually see it there. Look at that, nice and strong, 2 lines together. Alright, just making that bait now really nice. It's nice and straight. Make sure that head is on. There you go. Okay, once you're happy with it, you can dip it in the water to make it hard, but that is nice and straight, and you can see how that little eye just sticks out the end there. So now it's time to get some knots going, and we'll do some knots. Here we go. Just let it cool down though, because it's quite hot at the minute. Very good. Now we're coming to the bait. Made the bait really nice now. I'm happy with it. It's got a little eye at the top. Okay, it's a little flick bait. Now watch. All I do is I take it, I put it through the eye once. This is the fluorocarbon part. Give it some line like that. Okay. Then take it and go back through that line again. So here's, once again, the boat's moving, the wind's blowing. Of course, it's not that easy. So don't expect it to be. Take your time. There you go. See, I've got all sorts of things wanting to go wrong already. Right, now I've got these 2, double line in the middle. I take it and I just do the normal granny knot. Okay, make sure you got enough line to work with. Granny knot goes through. There's your granny knot. See it? Okay, I don't tighten it, but take the extra loop, put it right around the bait, pull everything up to the top. Now, as you pull both lines, that'll tighten. Go, tightens onto itself. The advantage is you have 2 pieces of line, 2 pieces of line instead of 1 on your hook. The fish on. Now obviously make sure you cut the right one. That's always the thing you tie beautifully. And I always leave the tiniest little bit. So if you can see the top of that knot, the tiniest little bit there. See, just to, if it does tighten that little bit and slip, it slips onto itself again. And there it is. There's the bait. You've got your leader beautifully set up. Alright, very cool. So I just let it go down to the bottom. You can see the bottom with the glasses, polarized glasses of course, so you can see the bottom very well. It takes all the glares away. And just getting down to the bottom, fishing much slower now. Finesse presentation. I just want to see if I get some bites on this, you know. See if there's anyone home. So you can see this rod is designed to really be a lot more flexible to get that bait to really look natural in the water. It's a tough one when you get a good fish, I can tell you that. It's a very tough one, but you can feel every single little thing in the water with this rod, which is fantastic. It's a Shimano Quickfire actually. It's not even an expensive rod, and I've really enjoyed using it. I've got a few of them. I've got 2 of them actually, and just for this application, just small little baits to play in the mid-water like that. And when I go bass fishing, I think they're going to really be quite key. I've got some 7-foot 2s as well, which are the ones I use for the plastics, and they're actually quite nice, you know. Again, not massively expensive, don't have to be, you know. You don't have to have $1,000 setup every time you go fishing. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. Right. Well, we've got ourselves a bite. It's a good one. That's what we're looking for. Just working that bait as I showed you. It's a nice size flathead. Exactly what I was looking for. I'm going to have to fight this one a little bit because it's quite big. need the net for this guy. Ooh, that's a big one. Not happy with me at all. Not happy with me at all. So let's get the net out real quick. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've got the net now. And we just hooked. There we go. Righty, finally we got fish worthwhile. Nice flathead. And if you have a look at that bait, beautifully in the mouth. Look at that. Really nice. Got to be a little careful with these because they'll nip you nicely with all of their spikes that they got. So you want to use a pair of these jaw tongs. They will fight. These are very, very, very good predators. The best of the best. So there you go, you can see that bait nicely in the mouth. Slow retrieve. That change up definitely worked. See that? And very happy with that. Let's pop it out so it wasn't too heavily in. Nice new hook. There's that bait that we made up. And that's the difference. And that's the outcome. So there she is, man. There she is. That's what we're looking for. And we'll put that in the live well. And if that's the biggest one of the day, that's the one we'll put in for a score. But beautiful fish, lovely predators these. And they fish. They are certainly active at all times of the day, including low tide. People don't realise that. But that's a big one. It's not massive. It's a nice one. We'll keep it in the live well. See how it goes. So we're going to change this bait up. I mean, the colour, they're after this colour, they like that motor oil. This is a great looking bait, but just haven't got the bites in it yet, so no confidence in it. Perfect bait, but it's too big. So just take it, cut it down to the size that you want at an angle, like that. Kneading it up a little bit the best you can. Chop back on the top as well. So it gives it like a triangular look like that. Okay. And that doesn't look very great at this moment. But once you bring your welding torch out, you can make that look all beautiful. You just give it a good there you go, look at that. So you can make it look beautiful in the front. Once you're happy with it, you can just dip it in the water. I'm pretty happy with that. A little bit more at the bottom. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm dipping in the water. Okay, it's now dipped and cold. And then you put it back on again. And you've got a modified bait that is going to go down the same depth, and it's going to again, squeeze it, make sure it's straight as, get your bait right in the middle, there you go, see? And then make sure it comes up beautifully, so it's absolutely spot on. It has to be spot on. See, there's a slight curve in that. You can see it there. So, got to go back up, just feed a little bit more through. It's got to be right. They won't eat it otherwise. They'll know it's an artificial bait that you're throwing at them. There you go, that's dead straight now. If you have a look at that, nice and straight, see? And we've used a little bit of fire on it, so we take our spray and just spray it up a little bit, make sure that all that smell's gone, and we're ready for action. Yes please, let's go. Right, hold thumbs, or cross fingers, whatever you call it, because that bait should work. Here we go. So the cool thing about it is I can put it out there. It'll still go down to the same depth, it's the same color. It's a bit shorter, and hopefully that is what we need. It's well centered. Everything about it now is what we need. And to send out the bottom same way. Keep working it. About fish boats coming through. Fish are used to them, yeah. Actually, in fact, it sometimes actually just sparks up the bottom a little bit and they get active. Let's see how we go with this on the bottom. Yep, beautiful. On. That's what. Beautiful change up, and it's a good bait. Oh, it's a good fish too. Big one. Whatever it is. It's much bigger than big brim, maybe. It's a big fish. Big fish. It's a big fish. It's exactly what I was looking for. I told you it was the change up. I mean, it looks like a big brim to me. A very big brim. That's what I'm looking for. Keep it on, keep it on, keep it on. Get your net ready. You've really got to, that's the brim we're looking for. Exactly what I was saying. Shortening it up beautifully. I don't want to lose this one. She's a nice sized brim. She's most certainly not ready. Don't mix it up. There you go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to tournament style fishing, and that was the change up we needed right there. That was a beautiful, beautiful change up, and there's got to be more of them too. So we went through the whole thing, right? You know, we changed the color, didn't work. We shortened the bait up, we made a modification, first cast, and let's just have a look at her. She's going to try and zap me, of course. You've got to be very careful with these, because they like to stick their barbs in you. But ladies and gentlemen, have a look at where she got it. She's trying very hard to smash me. She's trying very hard to smash me. There you go. She got it in the mouth. See that? That change up, first cast, alright? Look at the size of her. She's beautiful. She's very lively. Beautiful fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. Lure in the mouth. Stunning fish. I really, really like that. So that's what you can do if you get a bit versatile. What a stunning fish. We're going to try to we're going to put on the well. We'll hopefully there's more. The bite's definitely on, but absolutely brilliant, brilliant change up. Gosh, I love this sport. It's amazing. Beautiful fish. Well, what a great section that was, man. As I said, you know, the fishing's been tough. So, you know, quality fish, went right across the grass, really, really fished it thoroughly, and got a lot of data capturing there so that I can see it for next time. I followed some very good lines today, and definitely the fish are around, biting a little shy, but they're around. So going across now to fish some docks. Let's go, man. Right, another little secret. Boys playing with nail varnish. Woohoo! What is that all about? See your head on your bait. Paint it black. Paint it black. I find nail polish is the best because you can get it done on the go like this. Now the brim cannot see that as easily and doesn't give it away. There you go. See? So keep some of that on your boat, and then all I do is just put it in here for a little bit, take a break, have a drink of water, chill out for a bit, come back when it's dry and scent it, and then go. It's a nice little trick. Right, now that nail polish obviously is dried, but you know, it's got
a scent to it. So there you go again. That's why you need to spray it, because when you spray it, it takes all those scents away and the fish don't know any better.
Thankfully after the game, they're all really supportive, and yeah, it's been a great journey over the last 10-12 years there. And, yeah, just to get back there and say thank you. Obviously, having been a pleasure there.
Mate, the Broncos have really started to sort of put some games together now, and I know obviously we're nine rounds in. Do you guys sort of sit down and have a little bit of a reassess?
All right, another beauty. Alrighty.
We weren't happy about. We reassessed straight after those games. And I think from
another good compo fish coming up over there. Very, very good. Let's get the boat under control. Alright, again, liking our little bait, huh? Another good fish. There we go. Oh, she's full of spikes. He wants to make sure that I know that. There we go. So another beautiful brim coming out on the docks. Just second cast actually. Again, our colour. Loves that colour there. So that's coming out of her mouth now. Oh, she really got it. Another beauty. Alright, so once again another beautiful bream coming out. And looking much better today. Looking much better. The day's looking better and better as we go. Again, I made sure that all the knots were perfect there, man, because that was first flick underneath the docks, and she came out and she absolutely took that to pieces. And again, I had good control because, you know, I was using my tournament stick, my big graphite, you know, lunker of a rod, and that's what got that bite. But again, they're just loving our little change up we made earlier. So, you know, that was the cheeky one that I'd made, and I decided this time when I came to the docks to actually drift out a little bit more, so not just fish the docks themselves, but fish out and away from the docks, and kind of like similar to the other side over there where we were fishing, where the fish were out a little bit, you know. So, and testament to that, another good fish. So let's get back in the game. Loving it, man. What a great day out. Yeah. So a couple more change ups again, just trying to get the bite going. So that's the size of the fry that's going around, so I've already set that up now with a hook sitting nice and far back. See that? And that hopefully is going to get a bigger fish to bite. And yeah, it's no good having a too small a bait because we're going to go for a big fish anyways. But my small little follow-up bait, I've used a little nail weight, and now I've got that on a nail weight just so that it's a little bit more discreet. So we better find out how that rolls, and hopefully we get some success. That one's working, and now that hook is further back. See, it's not all the way up here, it's further back. So let's see how it goes. Come here. That's the one I'm after. That's the one I'm after. The hunting one. All right. No. No, it's not going to be the winning fish, but at least I can post a score. Right, ladies and gentlemen, woohoo! Finally, I've got something decent here on the drop. It's not the biggest one I've ever caught, but it's sure better than what we've been getting. So, and it'll definitely score in the comp. So, you know, changes are everything, right? And if you have a look at that one, she grabbed that, and I just changed it up to make sure that it was the right size for the fry. I've just done that change, and there is the result. Oh, they got sharp, they're sharp. That she got me. But there's a decent fish, and most certainly we're going to put that into the live well. Let's just get around here first so we can actually have a look at that. Now, the tide's coming in. That's more what we're looking for, people. Right there. That's a nice fish. It's not the biggest one, but if that's what's starting to bite and I've got the right bait, then surely we can, you know, get to the next level. So, but that goes on the live well. I will post that as a score. But anyways, something for the box. Woohoo! Love it, man. So, you know, there it is. Very, 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 very crucial change up, and we got a fish off that. So I think the bite's just starting. I mean, the tide's coming in now. I think they're just starting to set up and start feeding. There's plenty of fry exactly this size, and I actually had the bigger one on earlier, and I made it smaller just because I needed that to happen, and that's exactly what happened. All right, let's get on it again. I might be lucky. There might be another one here. Who knows? That was much better take as well. It was just straight down, boom, under. See you later. That's exactly what we want. She did get me though. Look at my hands, a little bit blooded up. But hey, if you aren't going to get your hands dirty, then you can't do this job. That's what it's all about. All right, let's move to the next docks. Sweet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap. And what a great tournament. Once again, for a good cause, cancer research. And look, I mean, we're going to post a fish, so that's fine. But yeah, you know, we're after, we not from a lack of trying though, you know, we did everything possible to look for them big fish. And I did get onto a little drink this morning and lost it by the boat, and I did get a flathead and I lost it by the boat. So that really would have been another 2 species. But once again, it was not going to be the size that's going to win the tournament. However, beautiful day, stunning weather. It was supposed to rain both days. Didn't see any rain. It's just been fantastic, and completely love the tournament. So hey, tune in, stick around. We've got plenty more fishing to come. This is just the start of something, and we're going to grow it from here. And there's going to be all sorts of things tactically, and there's going to be things about baits, and there's going to be designing your own baits and lure making, and there's going to be fly tying, and there's going to be all sorts of cool stuff, as well as getting on the water and tactically using all these things to make sure that they work. But hey, great having you on board, and we'll see you next time. Cheerio. Ow.